I feel like something I'm observing is now through practice 10, mentally, they are doing things faster. In other words, you're not looking at guys thinking out there. You can see it's becoming more instinctive, more natural. But again, right, this is something, and I will address this with Matt next week when we're doing the show. When you have this many players out, and everybody knew everybody knew going in what the numbers were going to be. Everybody knew. So does that have an effect on a practice as to what you can do and maybe a couple of things you stay away from because you don't have numbers? Right. Fran Ganner was there today, and it was great to see Franny. He's one of the greatest guys, close friend. And we were talking about numbers. I said, I said, Fran, you and I both know. I said, when they talk about we have 105 guys, you need 105 guys for a practice. You do.
You need bodies. You need physical bodies that are able to be there.
To run a proper practice. I said, these are not just like, hey, let's bring in a whole bunch of charity cases and have them run around so they can be a part of the Penn State football team. We got 130 guys, and here we go. No. If you're around it all the time, like I have been fortunate to be around it all the time, you need that many people. For example, in women's basketball, why do they practice against guys? A, it makes them better, but B, right, that's the extra numbers so you can have your scholarship players concentrate on what they're doing on your end of it and don't have to play the scout roles. Right? Scout roles are played by somebody else. You bring in a scout team. Men's basketball is a little different. You may have a couple of walk-ons to go with, there's a combination of ways to do it.
A couple of walk-ons, a couple of the coaches, if they're athletically able to. I'm guessing. I don't know this. I haven't seen a practice recently, but I'm assuming Taylor Battle can get out there and be a part of the practice.
Oh, yeah, he can be. And so you can do that, right? Because you want to give your, quote, scholarship players, especially the guys, like the 9 guys you're going to play in the game, you don't want them playing scout team. And unless you're time to scrimmage, 5-on-5, split them up, here we go.
Of course.
One assistant coach is one team, one assistant coach is the other.
But that's different.
Right. So you need numbers out there to do this. That's why I feel like the new scholarship limits across the board are friendly to understanding what practices need to be like. Men's lacrosse has 47 scholarship opportunities, all right? I mean, you need that. And Jeff Tambroni needs numbers to run a really good practice, right? And to make it better. Plus, it gives more opportunities. But opportunities aside, so we know going in, I think the number was they were down 31. Okay, so that puts you into the low 70s. Well, that's funny. You only have to play 22 guys. No. That's not how it works. And which I totally understand. Which practices do the fans go to? Right? So they're not going to know this stuff. Right? They can hear about it from somebody like me, but they're not really going to know it.
No.
Right? Unless you're out there every day and they realize that, okay. Now, where they have numbers on the offensive line. Really good. Now, they don't have Dom Rulli. They don't have Anthony Donko yet. They will. Right? But they still have numbers to do really good offensive line stuff. Not as many on the defensive line. Okay, so not as many. So they've got to, Christian Smith and Coach Malloy have to do a little more, mixing, matching, and working with their group. I mean, you may have linebackers. We all know that Alex Tash and Tony Rojas are out. Okay, now they'll do walkthroughs.
Yeah,
but between Brazina, Bacon, Ebel, and Cam Smith, you've got enough of a rotation there. And then Klosterman. Filippelli, they're all there. So you've got enough there to get through, but they're going to feel like when they get to training camp, if everybody is back, like it's an embarrassment of numerical riches. DBs have been no problem. They've got plenty of those guys. You're down a couple of wideouts, but you've got a lot to begin with. But getting Chase Soule back, getting Brett Eccleston back, and they've been out there every day doing stuff. So it's like, they've been working. Kobe Howard is getting a lot of work. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Kobe Howard and Lyric Samuel and Zay Robinson and guys like that have been getting a lot of work. Logan Cunningham's been getting a lot of work. Peter Gonzalez is now back in the mix getting work. Something I did broach with Matt Campbell the other day was about there was one practice last week through circumstances. They only had 3 running backs.
Now to have 5 I think on the roster.
They had 5. Dante Sheffy's been out for a little bit, but now they're at 4. Mm-hmm. Cam Wallace missed a practice, right, and then boom, was back right after that. So he's been full go. But Carson Hansen. I've seen Quentin Martin how many times?
Right? Hundreds.
Right? And how many times I've seen Cam Wallace?
Hundreds.
Right? And in 2 games, I've seen James Peoples.
Mm-hmm.
Except for seeing him playing on TV, I hadn't seen Carson Hansen. Carson Hansen is a really, really good running back. You watch him between the tackles, short yardage situation.
He's bursting through.
No, he'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he runs with. He's a young man that doesn't have an attitude, but he runs with an attitude. Mm-hmm. Good hands. So he's good in the pass game. He is just a really good all-around running back. Mm-hmm. Again, I'd only heard of him. I'd only seen him play on TV.
Never seen him up close.
Now the appreciation of seeing 10 practices with him, you sit back and say, wow, he is a really good athlete who is also a football player. Mm. Right? There are a lot of there's some great athletes out there that have absolutely no, you see it on TV all the time. Great athletes that have no idea how to play football. I don't. It's like Jazz Chisholm not knowing that there's a 4-side at home. I'm not, and that, I know. No, I deliberately said that not because you're a Yankee fan, but I'm talking about that's okay. He's a great athlete playing baseball, but is he a baseball player?
Yeah.
In other words, like knowing time, score situation, or inning, score situation. I mean, the winning run scored on that play. He threw the ball to first. Like, what are you doing? There's one out.
I don't know.
Right? And so that's when I talk about when a guy, he's a basketball player. He's a football player. Right? Those are the guys that, it doesn't mean they're never going to make a mistake. But you're surprised when they do because they have such an understanding of the game. And then you combine with the fact that they're really a really good athlete. Right? Now
we're talking.
Carson Hansen is a really good athlete who also is a football player, knows how to play.
Yeah.
And that's big. I mean, Larry Bird always knew how to play. Was he the best athlete on the floor? No, he's a much better athlete than people realize. But he knew where caroms were going to be. He knew how to get to certain spots. He knew how to set you up. He knew that if I went here, you're going to go here. I can pass there. I mean, things like that. And Magic was like that too. Magic was brilliant at that. But I'm saying, when I'm talking about a guy that is like a specific to the sport guy, that's somebody, and if they combine it with being an athlete, Hansen is that. Hansen really is impressive. Quentin Martin's had a great spring. Peoples has had a great spring. But I watch Hansen out there, and I'm seeing somebody that really can play. Thanks for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones. Catch the latest from me on the 7 Mountain Sports YouTube page. Find clips of the show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook by searching up 7 Mountain Sports.